Welcome back to our new Anno 1800 series. We're playing with crazy mods and a custom map. All of the AIs are a lot stronger, we have a lot of new ships like submarines or aircraft carriers, and we also have new tiers of population. And finally I created myself a custom map to make sure that we have a unique experience. I've pinned the list of all of the mods in the Anno 1800 channel of my Discord. Don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see the link to join the community. And of course in the video description below you can also find the link to the playlist with all of the episodes for this series if you want to make sure that you start from scratch. Let's go back to our empire. Welcome to episode 21, where the goal is gonna be definitely to build at least a destroyer class ship, maybe also a submarine. Let's dive in. But before we dive into the gameplay, I wanted to quickly talk about one of the comments that was shared by Mortanos. Thanks a lot Mortanos for all of your comments and for watching. He was asking about this fort over here on Manola. Manola is, the big island that was added to the new world with the latest DLC. You can find this island in this corner over here. This is basically a ruined castle. Unfortunately, we can't really visit it in first person. If you try to do first person over here, this will get you in the middle of the ocean. But don't worry, there are actually a lot of places we can visit. And we actually even know the name of this citadel. So if you're here in the center, just continue this way over here. And you may realize, there is a trail there. So, basically you want to go over here, Control Shift R. And now you're in first person, right? You can press Shift to go a bit faster. And soon you'll see this trail. And if you move a bit further, you'll see one of those first maps, right? This is a map of the island. We're right now on the red, trail, the monkey trail. There's also a second one, the yellow one. Do tell me in the comments if you want me to show you where it is. But what you can also see on the map at the bottom is that the fort is actually called the Fort John. But once again, I think at least I haven't been able to visit it myself. If you have been, don't hesitate to share. On the red point over here, there's also a cave with a lot of Easter eggs. Don't hesitate to tell me if you want me to make a video on this. But yeah, I thought it was a good way to start this episode a bit differently. Now let's get back into the game. So hopefully you've already realized that we're making a lot more money than at the end of the last episode. I think we finished the last episode around 15,000. Now we're at 30,000, so we've basically doubled. So yes, a bit of time has passed, but really not that much. Basically what we've done is basically really optimize a bit more the new world. Let me show you. If we look over here at our journaleros, they were already getting, the basic resources. Now they're also getting all of the luxury goods, including, the rum, but they're also getting lifestyle needs. For example, they're getting work clothes and felt and the soccer balls. So sort of everything we can at this point, we're giving it to them. Similarly for the obrera, they were already getting their basic needs. Now they're also getting most of their luxury ones except the cigars. Remember that, we're gonna talk about it just now. But they're getting, for example, the rum and the beer. They are actually not getting any lifestyle need for now. And then similarly for the artista, we've given them the soccer balls. So for this island, it wasn't a huge shift, but for this one over here, that was a big change, right? You may remember that we had just started, the jornaleros. Now the journalists are getting everything in this island. They are even getting the sewing machine over here. So we could also start getting a few to artista. I mean, let's do it just for fun. So you see, I'm not lying, you can do it. Here it is, we have some artista. And all of those jornaleros over here are also getting, the work clothes, the felt, and the soccer ball. And on top of giving all of those resources, we've optimized. And by optimize, I mean, every single resources is created in one island. So for example, in the second island over here, we're making all of the ponchos, all of the tortillas, all of the fried plantains, the work clothes, bombines, and the felt, delivering it to Manola. And on the other side, we're making everything else on Manola, like the coffee, the cotton fabric, the sewing machine, beer, the rum. We're having a small problem with rum, I'm gonna check that, and the soccer balls. So all of this is made on Manola and then delivered over here. We also continued from the last episode, to have more and more trade unions, right? This one over here, for example, both for poncho donors, but also for the bombing makers, right? With the bombing makers, we're using, for example, Mariana, which is increasing our productivity and making the work clothes. So I'm not even bringing the work clothes, from the old world, we're making them over here. And also this one, where we're using jornaleros instead of obreros for the bombing and using alpaca wool instead of felt. So this way I need less felt producers. it's some money gain, right? We already had over here our alpaca wool, right? I'm just building more and more of these as the need arises. If you look over here at the production, right, you can see we're actually just at the limit. Maybe let's make one more. And then over here, we're starting to make some corns. This is corn without the fertilizer silo or the tractors, but as you can see, I left the space, right? There's a space over here, the space over there. There's space all the way to put them, but for now I haven't. I also haven't built the trade union because frankly, I don't actually have an item to improve them. But, you know, they're ready. They're ready in even the number of field. I've put the number of field needed when you have a tractor. That way, because remember, a tractor requires 50% more field. So we've done that. This is not super pretty in terms of where I've put the field. We can change that in the future. But anyway, we have done that. Over here, we've also created another one, which is for the felt. You know, it's just easy. The felt right now is just used as one of those lifestyle needs. So it's really not that much, but it's still good. You know, 1 journal 2 coins for free. Then over here, we have our tortilla maker, right? With this item, the mole master, which increases the productivity. And on top of it, instead of using the beef, because remember the beef takes quite a lot of space, it's not a great building. We're using fish oil, and fish oil, that's easy. You know, we have all of this for fish oil. It takes, you know, sea space, which I had no use for anyway. We're producing enough of fish, as you can see, and we're even producing enough while having minus 50%. So this way we have the potential, you know, to increase all of these by a lot. In particular, we could definitely increase this one for sure, the alpaca farm, because remember, the alpaca farm is a 0 workforce. With those 2 items, there's 0 workforce. And that means, you know, if you increase to plus 50%, it actually has no impact at all. So it's like free resources. So definitely we've done that. I also added, by the way, a couple of things like we have now a crane, we have, you know, pier because I'm getting attacked from time to time. But yeah, this was, you know, definitely a lot of the changes that we made in the new world. As I said, though, we were missing one big resource, right? We were missing the cigar. Why? Because for cigar, we need the tobacco. If we look over here, if you haven't seen the cigar factory, you know, it takes tobacco. Then you take also wood to make the wood veneers, and then you'll go into the cigar factories. Oh, she's attacking me. What is happening? Oh, she's attacking on this side. Okay, interesting. I have indeed not put any defenses on that side of the island. That's fine. We can just attack her. It's fine. It's just some fisheries. We can rebuild this. Couple of these have been built. Let's sell them while we're here. Even if now we're making good money, but who knows what will happen in a few minutes. So anyway, as I was saying, we're gonna need some tobacco. Unfortunately, I cannot plant tobacco over here unless I use an item, of course. And similarly over here, this is the same. I cannot build it either. So I think we're gonna have to attack once again a new island. Maybe this one, you know, it has tobacco. This one of ours, she hasn't really developed it. Oh, she has actually some tobacco. As you can see, this is the tobacco, what it looks like. So yeah, I think we're gonna slowly but surely attack this one. I mean, we have a fleet, that's for sure. I think that's enough. Yes, there are probably some mines, but I'm not too worried either. Oh, she has an RP, interesting. But yeah, I think we're gonna attack that to be able to do, you know, the cigar. There's also a small outbreak over here. Don't have, yeah, there's some nurses on standby. Let me just do something like this also. Make sure we have a bit of a better coverage. And on this island over here, we've also done the same, right? Of specializing the production. For example, here we're producing a lot of coffee with this one there. The coffee sommelier, productivity plus 30%, workforce needed minus 50%. And on top of that, instead of using obreros, it's using jornaleros. This is basically a perfect item. If you don't know it, you definitely need to have it. Then we have also this one, maintenance cost minus 20%. It's not gonna change that much, but basically I had this item, so I just use it. And I mean, it's not huge, but it's also not insignificant. We used to have a lot of cotton and all of this production. Now we don't need that anymore, so I've deleted it, right? Instead, we've replaced it by the soccer, or the soccer ball, yes, football if you prefer, production, right? It takes some Nandu feather and some caoutchouc. So the caoutchouc we were already making on the other island, so we're bringing it over here. And the Nandu feather is this one over here. I haven't made a super complex, trade union type of thing. I've also put the silo, so with that, we're producing all of the soccer balls that we need. And similarly over here, we used to have, the tortillas and many other things. Now it is really focused on just the rum and the beer over here. Now it is focused on two things, the rum over here and the beer a bit more in the north, with a lot of the plantation needed, right? We have, for example, the sugar cane over here, or we have the wheat over here, right? So this is all good all around this hacienda. I haven't even actually put items yet. I've also done a couple of things in the old world, but before we go there, I think let's send the fleet to this new island. We're just going to attack, not, do anything about the mines or anything like that. Let's just attack. We'll probably lose 1 or 2 ships, but that's not the end of the world. We have money now, it's not a problem. And in the meantime, let's look a bit at the old world. Oh, Margaret attacking me again. It's funny, she keeps sending a few ships here and there. So what have we done in the old world? Well, basically, I've continued to do a few of these small islands, right? In the last episode, we had added more hunting cabins, right? We had added this trade union over here. Now I'm also getting the copper, those 2 copper mines over here. Of course, there's also a ship then that's bringing it to my city, but that's not all. I started to do also some of these other islands. For example, over here, we've started one that's going to make some hop. And there is even a trade union, which is going to enable me to produce snaps for free while I'm producing, either potato or hop. Now I'm looking for an item to reduce the workforce of those farms so we can have more farms. Then over here we have the coal and the iron. I haven't built those 2 limestone because we don't really need them yet, but we have the workforce. So this is one we've started, not really finished yet, but as you can see, it has started. Then we've also started this one where we're making a lot of things. In particular, we're making a lot of grain. As you can see, it's even full. So I need to optimize that a bit. We'll probably increase the reserve. And we need to have, right now only have 1 ship. I think we're gonna need to have more. But we also have, coal, we have iron, and we have copper. So it's a great other small island, 0 workforce, no chance of fire or anything like this. As I said, that I haven't done is really optimize it in terms of the transport. And then on top of that, as I said, I'd love to get item to reduce the workforce for the farms so that then I can also build all of those farms over here. And it is, we have lost 1 ship. But this island is almost done. Let's accelerate. I don't think we're even gonna lose this one. Yes, perfect. Conquer the island and done. And now we'll be able to create, tobacco plantation. It's a bit of a hard island. There's a lot of, rivers. But anyway, that's fine. With the hacienda, you can probably do something pretty good. Let's bring back the fleet so that they can rest and be repaired and also get a lot of resources. Now, because we keep growing the fleet and we've built a number of those trade unions, we do have one small problem. And this problem is influence. Remember, for example, any cargo ship, this is 3 of influence. A trade union, this is 20, if I remember correctly. So while we have more than 1,000 of influence, we're actually using almost everything. Right, we only have 30 available. By the way, you can also click on it if you want to see where you're actually using it, right? For example, we're using 255 for our propaganda. One interesting element is that right now we're making 33,000. 30,000 of that is coming for the consumption task, right? So the newspaper. If we were to stop using this newspaper, we would get, a lot of influence. We would lose all of that money, but at least we wouldn't be in negative. So maybe that's something we'll do in the future. Otherwise, we need to start increasing our influence. There's a few ways to increase influence, but to make it simple, I think at this point in the game, we have 2 simple ways. The first one is just to increase our global population. As you can see right now, we're almost at 32,000. If we reach 35,000, we'll gain 20 influence on top. The other way is just to have investor. Each investor house, and there's also a couple of other like skyscrapers, etc., will give you some influence. For example, this one, this investor, this is 3 influence. And I think we do need this influence because if you look at the old world, there's still a lot of things we can optimize. Remember this production over here of soap and sausages, this is not optimized at all. All of our weapons over here and steel, this is not optimized. A lot of the basic production like schnapps and the clothes over here, This is a huge mess, right? We're using a lot of those furnaces. We should put a trade union and improve all of this. We need to start making canned fish and better way to make canned food. And we of course also need to continue expanding, to get more investors, more engineers. So that's gonna be the focus. But first, I think it's time to build our first mega ship. Let's go for a destroyer class. 115 steel, 60 motors, 50 advanced weapon, 20 brass and 20 filaments. We have all of this, this is done. And talking about influence, I mean, this is going to cost us 12. So it's not, going to help with this. It's gonna take a bit of time. So let me do a few things in the meantime. On the diplomacy side, we also have big changes. Of course, we're still at war with Lady Margaret. We're actually right now in a ceasefire with Jean. He's a bit scared of us. If you look at our military versus his and our economy versus his, he got scared. On the other side, we have Bente that actually stopped her trade rights. Usually that's the first step before war, right? And if you look at it, a war is gonna be dangerous. This is why I want to start making some of those destroyer class, submarines, etc. I think we need to prepare for a new big war. We have only 200, 300 of military. She has 1,300. That is crazy. So anyway, I've been trying to give her a bit of money, to flatter her, to try to keep that a bit higher, but I'm pretty sure war is coming. The good thing though is that Anno is now in a trade right with us. She was also getting scared, right? You've seen in the last few episodes, she kept giving us money for a ceasefire. So at some point I just looked at it and she agreed to first stop the war, and then I had to give her 1 million, but against 1 million she gave us the trade rights. So now this is great because we can buy some of our ships. Yeah, why not? This is something we cannot even do ourselves. An armored cargo ship that is cool, and we can also trade, right? We could buy some of the things, for example, advanced weapon instead of making it. We could also sell the alcohol to her, and on top of that, she gives us access to new items. So let's check it out. Ooh, this is very good. Cigar factory, reducing the workforce and improving productivity just for 100,000. I'll take it. That is pretty good to make us some tallow for free. Oh, and with this one, the arborist, I mean, this is a good one because it's reducing the number of modules for the farms, but on top of it, it's giving us tobacco. So maybe with this one, we actually don't need to create real tobacco farms. Let's buy it and see. That's a good start, and really happy that we don't have to fight her every 5 minutes. At some point, we'll probably, declare war just to have the fun of destroying this base. But for now, I think it's good that we are at peace, especially if we have to fight Bente. And remember, the items are not just for the trade unions, right? There's also the Harbor Master office and also the town hall. Over here, I've put one Harbor Master office for covering a lot of those fisheries. Then with that, I'm gonna be able to put her. She's gonna increase the productivity and bring us some tallow. And this one also going to decrease a bit the maintenance costs. Not so important, but still, I'll take it. And also some tallow. So we can check now if I stop all of my rendering works that are doing the tallow. We see that we're still producing way more tallow than what we need. It's even enough if we add the capital. So for both of my islands, now I'm producing basically the tallow for free, right? So I can stop all of these, I can delete them. And that means also I will need a lot less pigs. So we're starting the optimization on this side too. With that, we'll get more money and it will be easier to increase the size of our ton. But more importantly, the Lord and Ladies here, we have our first destroyer class. Look at this, this is the size of it versus, the other ships. So it's quite huge, especially quite long. I love that you can see even, a couple of people on board. They have their weapons over here. This ship is amazing. Thanks again, Alex, for creating this mod. I can't wait to see the other ones. But that's not all. With this ship, you actually get access to the sea mines. If you click over here and place it, now we've placed the sea mine over here. You can see I placed also one over there. It takes a bit of time, then you can place another one. And with that, I can start protecting my islands. So really cool ship, and I think perfect end to this episode. We have built it. In the next episode, we can start moving to the other ones. For example, the Flower Corvette class. Then we'll have the submarine, and then we can go to war. For that though, we need more influence. So in between the two episodes, I'm going to, optimize a bit this town. I think try to grow it a bit. And I think also start using a bit less propaganda because anyway, we're making a lot of money. So no need to spend so much in propaganda. Don't hesitate to share in the comments if you have any questions, thoughts, requests. I'd love to hear it. And I hope to see you next time.